Hi, Mia DeBolt here, bringing you more transparency in trading. Thank you so much for joining me. Today's episode is going to be a little bit different because typically I go over my charts and my trades, and I'm not doing that today. I'm just going to be introducing myself and kind of sharing a little bit of my story. So thank you so much for joining me. First and foremost, I am on my way to being a 7-figure funded trader. I know I'm going to accomplish that this year, hopefully by the end of first quarter. So if you haven't already, subscribe below so that you follow me on this journey. So I just kind of want to start with a little bit of who I am, what makes me me, and maybe it might inspire you to see that you can do this too, because I'm nobody special. I grew up in California, and I grew up with a traditional family where they pushed getting good grades and going to school and getting a great job and then retiring in 30 years. So if you're on that type of path, I totally feel you, because I was on that path. I went to college, I got good grades, and it wasn't until I went to college that I actually veered off of my parents' path for me. So in order to understand my trading journey, you have to understand a little bit of where I came from. So I actually came out of the military in 2009. My husband and I had a small family. We had 2 kids, and we were entrepreneurs at heart. I had read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which was kind of like eating the red pill in the Matrix. So I was awakened to this whole idea that, you know, getting a good job and retiring in 30 years is not my plan for my life. And so I went on this journey with my husband to be entrepreneurs. We jumped into network marketing and got out of the Navy and crashed and burned in 2009. So if you were around in 2009, you know that it wasn't necessarily the best time to be jumping out of your security and your security job, or, you know, all of your benefits. And so we actually crashed and burned pretty hard. So in that kind of fall, we had to recreate ourselves. And so back in the Navy, I was a pretty big shot. Like, I had accomplished a lot in the Navy. I was on the path to being a really high-ranking officer, and I chose my family and my entrepreneurial journey over that. So having crashed and burned as an entrepreneur, I had to shed my ego. I had to shed a lot of who I thought I was and kind of recreate myself. And so that's what I did. Over the 10 years, I learned different skills. I focused on, you know, building websites. I focused on SEO, or search engine optimization. So this isn't the first time that I've dealt with algorithms. And so I did all the things that an entrepreneur has to do, must do, in order to survive as an entrepreneur without having a W-2 or having a safety net. My husband and I scrapped and clawed and really built ourselves up. So back in 2019, I was actually in a fairly cush position. I was working for a company as a network marketing coach, and I was liking parts of what I did, but really not liking the people that I was working with. My manager was a tyrant. She was not fair. She had her favorites. It wasn't a really great working environment. And so even though I was working from home, I was really dissatisfied and unhappy where I was at. And so I decided that I was going to take the reins and do something about that. So having started my career and entrepreneurial journey as a network marketer, I decided, well, let me look at different network marketing companies. And so that's what brought me to FOREX, was that there was a standout person that was in that company who was really succeeding. So I just took a look at his business and I got curious. I knew nothing about FOREX. I had to Google it in order to find out what it was, because it sounded like he was ultra successful, but I had no idea what trading or FOREX was. And so that's my start to FOREX trading, was back in 2019, December of 2019. I began my journey. I said, hey, sign me up. I want to know, I want to learn. And I started from ground zero again. So I started learning and diving into all the education that company had. It was a network marketing company. They did have educators that I would go and listen to. So one of the educators on the team is still my mentor today. So that's where I was introduced to Danny Reardan. He taught me a lot about structure. He taught me a lot about the fundamentals of smart money concepts. He taught me a lot of mindset pieces, how to treat my trading like a business. And so it was a whole new world. So I would say that Forex trading is one of the most accelerated personal development businesses, because in the last 3 years that I've actually been Forex trading, I've grown so much more as an entrepreneur than I did in the previous decade. So it's been an amazing journey. I am so not done with this journey. I've just begun. And the 3 years that I was with Danny, I learned so much about myself. I learned so much about the markets. So jumping into the Forex world, I learned what I could learn as far as smart money concepts. I thought it was really simple, so I dove in with $1,000 and proceeded to lose that over the course of a month. So I took on the sage advice of Danny, and he told me demo. So for the next 6 months, I dove into higher time frame trading, because at the time I was still coaching with this company that I was working with. And so with that concept and being part-time trading, I actually got profitable. I was profitable on my demo account. I was risking 2% every single trade. I was pretty detached from any kind of outcome because I was so focused on learning. And so that's kind of where I jumped into, throwing some money behind it again. So I put another small account together, and I told my husband, this is just my trading money, and it's money that I'm going to learn with. And so I did that along with another demo account. So FTMO, I don't know if you know this, but has an amazing demo challenge that you can take, whether it's 50,000, whether it's 100,000 or 200,000, and that's what I was doing. I was doing $50,000 challenges, free challenges with FTMO to learn the prop world, because the prop fund world is a little bit different than just demoing on a broker. So I found that there's certain rules that you had to follow and certain things that you had to know about spreads and everything like that. So I was learning that side of the world alongside trading some of my own funds. So I do want to show you my FXbook, because you'll see that I was profitable. I had my ups and downs, and what I learned about trading a $5,000 account is that the $1 million that I'm looking to create and the ultra wealth that I'm really looking to create for my family is not going to happen with $5,000. It's not going to happen with a small account of my own, because I will have to have a lot of consistency and a lot of time for that to happen. So that's kind of where my eyes opened to the prop fund world, because being able to leverage somebody else's money, whether it's a demo account and they're willing to give me a payout of 80%, that's amazing on $100,000, even $200,000. So that was kind of where I was doing the math, and I was like, okay, so if I plunk down, $600 here, I'll be able to make it back and then some. And so that's kind of where I jumped into the prop fund world, closed out my $5,000 account that I think I made, when all was said and done, about $600, $700. And so I closed that out and just focused straight on to the prop funds. And so that's where demoing, I probably didn't demo long enough. First and foremost, I didn't know anything about ICT back then, and I was jumping from smart money concepts, the ones that I was taught from the beginning, to other strategies. I was really searching for that consistency, that ability for me to have more than a 30% win rate. So I was really looking for more consistency, higher strike rate, and I did anything from learning supply and demand zones to learning the strength meters and MACDs and EMAs and moving averages. I went all over the place, searching, looking for that strategy, looking for that extra layer that I could put onto my own trading so that I could get more consistency. And so I dropped to lower time frames. I started looking and searching for more consistency there, and I was just told, oh, there's more noise down and lower time frames, so just be careful. A lot of people don't make money on lower time frames, and I just didn't take that on as something that I believed. I believed that it could be done, that I would make it happen. However, I just didn't on my own, and that's kind of where I was searching and looking for a mentor who could really teach me that consistency, who could teach me more information about the markets where I could really be that savage marketer that I knew I could be. So what brought me to ICT was I was really searching for more consistency, a higher strike rate, a higher win rate, and quite frankly, I wanted to learn more about the markets and how they operate, because I was hearing things about the algorithm, wasn't quite sure if it really existed or not, if it was just that it was random, that it was patterns. I had learned so many things about smart money concepts, but it was kind of like watching TV on an old tube TV, and it was kind of blurry and fuzzy and pixelated, kind of where, some things you could make out clearly and other things you couldn't. And that's when ICT kind of opened my eyes to UHD. UHD, you can see all the granular, you can see everything. You can see pimples and freckles and everything that goes along with the market. So he is the author of all of those concepts. So one of the things that I have done over the past couple of years is invested in Tony Robbins in some of his seminars, and one of the things that he does say is proximity is power. And what he means by that is that, go to the source of who started all of this, right? So that's where ICT is really important in my life, because he is the source of smart money concepts. He authored a lot of these concepts that are taught by others and are kind of diluted. The concepts are not as potent because they're not quite understood like ICT understands them and can teach them. So that's kind of where I'm at right now, is I'm learning from him. And we all live in an amazing time in our lives right now where he's willing to give a year of his life up until November to give live streams, to teach us about the markets, the ins and outs of the markets. And all you have to invest is your time and your energy to actually learn. So I think it's pretty amazing, and I'm along for the ride. I'm so excited for this year. I know that I'm going to grow exponentially, and really my intention behind this video and behind this whole channel is so that I'm leaving breadcrumbs for my children. I was actually inspired by ICT when he said that whenever he teaches, he's teaching for his children. And that's kind of where I had this idea for my YouTube channel, is that I want my channel to be that legacy for my children. They're both in high school right now, and eventually they're going to go off, spread their wings, but someday maybe they'll see their mom as that master trader and somebody to learn from. So that's what I'm really hoping for them, is that they can have the freedom to do what they want and to spread their wings, but also have the financial freedom to be able to do whatever it is that they choose to do in their lives. So with that being said, I give you all of what I can in this channel because I am talking to my children and I do want to give value. I want to focus on contribution and growth. And if we can grow together as a community, if I can help you in any way, that is my intention as well. So I really hope that you get a lot out of this channel. I'm really going to be as transparent as I possibly can because I really do believe that this industry is one that's amazing, has amazing opportunity, and it also has a whole bunch of corruption. And so if we can share our light and share the abundance with others, I do believe that we can do a whole lot of good in the world. So I did promise to share my Trader's Way account, so I wanted to share that with you. You can see that I did have some growth here. I had some dips, and I ended up closing it at positive 34%. So that was my live account. I actually closed this back in December of 2021. So I liquidated that and just started focusing on my FTMO challenges. I really would say that focus is really important, especially if you're looking to accomplish something like 7 figures of funding. So I hope you got something out of this. If you can connect with any of my story and you have a similar story, or I would love to hear something about you and get to know you as well. So comment below and subscribe below if you want to continue this journey with me to the 7-figure mark. I know that it's coming soon. It's just a matter of time. So I look forward to seeing you in the next video where I break down another trade. Thank you so much for joining me, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.